Yo, welcome to episode 26 of Directly to You, a Redirect podcast. I am AJ of Redirect, and this week I was joined once again by Dusty Go-Goat, who's been on the show a few times, but just in case you didn't know, is a Poketuber that primarily focuses on the future of Pokemon games across his various personal channels and his Pokemon podcast, the Hidden Power Podcast. So who better to have on to talk about Pokopia, the upcoming Koei Tecmo developed Pokemon Life Sim. We also talked about its distinction as the first Nintendo published game keycard, our thoughts on Legends ZA's upcoming Mega Dimensions DLC, and more. On to the episode. You know way more about this game than I do. I know next to nothing. I watched the 10-minute trailer. I formed no thoughts. I was just like, okay, this is what it is. Like, I saw you guys stream on the Hidden Power Podcast. Plug.
Yes.
And I talked to you guys in the chat about that a little bit, where like the conversation kind of went into like you guys talking about like the kind of game that it is and how some Pokemon fans feel kind of off by it because it's not the kind of game that they want and blah, 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 blah. And I'm on the other end of it where it's like, for me, it's not necessarily the kind of game that I want, but it's just because my spin-off thoughts. I've talked about my spin-off thoughts. To me, it's like, this is a natural progression for Pokemon, like it being a game that's like a simulation kind of situation. I just don't like that it's taking this form specifically. I'm down to try it, but
yeah. This seems like a Pokemon spin-off game that should have probably existed a decade ago.
Yeah.
Is that fair to say? That's like
that's fair.
In terms of like preference, I'm like, I'd be playing this.
This definitely. I would say
this on the 3DS.
Even I was about to say, I would say even longer ago. This is a Wii game to me. Like this is like Pokemon Ranch kind of vibe, sort of situation. And that, I mean, to be fair, that's when I was a lot less. When I was a lot more open to the idea of Pokemon spinoffs because I didn't know, I wasn't aware of the problem that we had until now.
I don't know. Like I think I think Legends ZA has made me realize that it's just made me maybe more aware of the separation between gamers who enjoy Pokemon. Because I mean, Pokemon's massive, right?
Right.
Roll credits because Pokemon is the highest grossing media franchise in the world.
Yeah.
Okay. That's TM. That is true, but. And I guess what I'm saying is like, I forget often that I'm in a bubble that like I love Pokemon, but I love Pokemon because of the monsters in the world and in the vibe, right? For the brand, that is why I love Pokemon. I'm not a gamer, right? So Legends ZA has made me like so aware that like. That people just are fed up with a lot of Pokemon games. And as we've discussed, Legends ZA is really great for, Pokemon standards. And it is doing a lot of great things that I think ZA does a lot of things that are just good for like any sort of monster collecting game.
Yeah.
But I guess, I'm just, that's the setup because I'm happy. I want to play Pokopia. I'm a little hesitant because I haven't played a lot of other games over the last 4 years. I haven't played any cozy games in 4 years, but my biggest question for Pokopia is like, how much is it actually going to deliver? Because I'm thinking about the countless hours, the hundreds of hours in Animal Crossing, the hundreds of hours in Minecraft, the hundreds of hours in, no, just kidding. I've never played Dragon Quest Builder, but it looks fun. The hundreds of hours in Stardew Valley, the hundreds of hours playing all these games that I will just sink my teeth into. Is this going to live up to it? Is Pokopia going to live up to that? I'm happy. I'm glad. I'm glad this game exists.
I want to wait. It's not going to live up to that, but I think that it doesn't necessarily need to. Is the thing so? I don't know.
It doesn't need to. You think? Okay.
And that's
because it's just going to sell.
That's not, I was about to say, that's not a good thing. But and I could be proved wrong. Sure. I mean, to be sure. And it's not being developed primarily by Pokemon or anybody. It's Koei Tecmo that's making this game, right?
Sure.
So I mean,
that sounded sarcastic. I really don't know.
Let me
I think
double
it's
check. I think it.
I'm looking it up right now. Yep, Koei Tecmo.
Okay, so Koei Tecmo's making this game. So like the different set of expectations, obviously.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's just like I think that they know that they don't have to like innovate in the sense that it's like, man, this is like
Sure.
reinventing the wheel of this genre. I think
I don't want them to do that though, because again, I'm comparing. I guess the framing I'm trying to set up is like, I'm comparing this to my enjoyment of the Pokemon franchise,
right.
and this is a way, like, this is something that I think has been missing. Like something that I often think about when it comes to Pokemon games, and I'm like, oh, this would be so cool if it's in the mainline games. Is like secret bases,
Yeah.
That's like from my era of like Pokemon, which is like, the idea of a secret base has always been cooler than like the implementation. But like Pokemon Pokopia does seem like something where I'm like, this is kind of scratching that itch for me, right?
Yeah. I guess that's kind of what I'm saying though. Like I think that
yeah.
I think with this like my expectations are that it's going to fall short in ways that it shouldn't as the kind of game that it is, but it will be okay because it's a Pokemon game, and that will be like a lot of the value that is like derived from that like game, like, or that sort of game, like being on all 10s in those different areas, that Pokemon's probably going to be like a 7 or an 8, is going to be replaced by the fact that it's like, oh, I'm Lapras right now. Like that's pretty cool. Like, and being able to like, like it's going to gamify aspects of Pokemon that's only a Pokemon thing because of its world, and that's cool. Right?
Yeah. I think also this game feel like I almost want to champion Pokopia, and I need to learn more about it, but like it's only coming out in a couple of months, which is pretty cool.
Yeah.
But I feel this compulsion to champion Pokopia because I think it kind of still serves all of those things that I enjoyed about Legends ZA. Like,
right.
Everyone who's complaining about ZA, I've made, that's fine. If you don't like it, that's fine. I got a lot of fun playing ZA because of, I honestly, a lot of aspects that I think most people would, like the battle system. But like, I also I probably spent like 100 hours just taking photos and like dressing up my guy, and like, I don't know, like I run through the world, I catch a Pokemon, I take some pictures with it, I explore some areas, I take some more pictures. Like I feel like those are just like cute aspects of Pokemon games that I think get overlooked by like gamers.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
like gamers.
Yes, yes, but no. I think so. The thing is, like, the audiences that we engage with that feel a certain kind of way about whatever the Pokemon game is, whether it be something like ZA or even like Scarlet and Violet or whatever, like they're coming at it from different angles of why they don't like it. Like a Pokemon fan, like, or not even, because like all these people to some degree are Pokemon fans. Like in the Pokemon community, the PokeTuber community, right?
Yeah. Okay. We're narrowing.
Yeah. Like the thing that they'll usually complain about is it's like, oh, it's not like the games that I liked and that got me into the community in the first place.
Yeah.
And usually when gamers that like Pokemon that don't like the new Pokemon games are complaining, it's this game isn't up to the standard of a game that I would buy that doesn't have Pikachu on the box, And I think that this game, like the best case scenario and what like Legends ZA I think accomplished is that it brings everybody closer to the middle of it all, right? Where it obviously there's going to be those people that are like hard stuck wherever they are and they have whatever opinion they have because it's not even trying to hit either one of those types of people's expectations out of the park, right?
Sure.
But the people that are more reasonable about it all, like they find something that they do like in the thing, right? So I think like best case scenario for this game to me is it will be that thing that shows Pokemon fan that only plays Pokemon and like their idea of like my gaming time is I'm going to start a new run in this Pokemon game. I'm playing my 5th journey. I'm going to use these 6 Pokemon this time, Those people, I think it will introduce to them like the way the broader medium can work. Right.
Sure.
And for that reason, I appreciate things like this.
I'm thinking now about the alignment of Pokopia, like you're talking about like the alignment of Pokopia to like mainline games, and I feel like we've had Pokemon spinoffs forever, and there's always been I have actually haven't played that many of them, and when I was younger, it was mostly because I just didn't like that wasn't the birthday gift I wanted.
Mhm.
Like I never played Ranger, for example. I had one of the mystery dungeons, for example. I do think mystery dungeon actually aligns with the promise of a Pokemon game because you are collecting your team, and well, you're not doing a lot of collecting, but you are
You're
adventuring
collecting
and
a
you are
little bit.
battling.
It's collecting, but
Yeah,
different. Yeah,
yeah,
it's more traditional
and
RPG in the sense that like they're your party member, like in
yeah,
an RPG kind of way.
and there's management of like items and such, but
Right.
like I think the biggest, I was gonna say the only Pokemon spin-off game in the last couple years that I can remember was Pokemon Snap, which is true, but
Mhm.
I guess I'm not even counting Detective Pikachu. That seems like like that's like
That's
not
like
even a game.
barely a
I feel
game.
like
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
And you know what? But
And
Detective Pikachu is a great example of kind of what I'm scared of about this game. Is like
yeah.
Detective Pikachu
I
could
don't
have
think it'll be
been.
that.
It could have been
Yeah,
way cooler than it is, but they
yeah,
use it as an like they made it like what the internet does when they're like it's a kids thing, so it's
yeah.
allowed to be bad because it's for kids.
It
That's what
literally is
Detective
a kid's
Pikachu
game.
is. It's like
Yeah,
it's bad because they let it be bad, sort of thing.
yeah,
Where it could have been, like had the same attention to detail as like a Telltale game or like something like Dispatch right now, more
yeah.
recent.
Tell me,
Um,
tell me this. What make? Because I'm thinking about it now. Like, what makes Animal Crossing good? Like, can we just
uh,
like, or like, what makes Minecraft good? Like these
so
games, right?
Minecraft is
Stardew
a whole
Valley.
Minecraft is a whole different thing in terms
Sure,
of like
because there's like there's
there's
combat.
so much
Yeah,
more that you can make it with Minecraft specifically. But what
yeah,
I would say, and like the drum I was banging in the lead up to New Horizons when we were at PAX in
yeah,
2020. I think that it's well, I was going to use a different game as an example, but I guess that's a bad, yeah,
yeah.
that's a
Because
bad
I'm
angle of
just trying to
attack.
think
But
about.
it's
I'm just trying to think about like what does Pokopia have to do to like at least hit the bar? You know?
I think with Pokopia, at least for me, like what I'm expecting from it is this game is probably like just based off of how they're marketing it and like the mechanics of it all. I think it's
Yeah,
less of a Animal Crossing and more closer to a Minecraft in the sense that with Animal Crossing, the thing that is like rewarding about that is it's like I'm building my town and I'm getting my villager
yeah,
friends and I'm like crafting this like is you're basically playing Barbie dolls. Like that's what Animal Crossing is, right? Except for you have obviously more control over like what everything is. It's not just like, oh, my
yeah,
parent bought me this, so this is the dream house that I have. It's like you're able to procure your own situation and be like, oh, I like that frog, I like that I like that wolf lady, I like that rooster. They're all part of my town, and I'm gonna make my house this color, and it's gonna have these rooms, and this is what the
yeah,
kitchen's gonna look like. And I'm like, for me, it was like I'm making a YouTube studio in my house or whatever, right? Like it allows
yeah,
you to have those little like micro goals. Whereas like this, it feels more gamified in a sense, where like you have the goal of like we're bringing the world back to being lush again, and we're watering plants and all that good stuff.
yeah.
I think that that's closer to being like Ender Dragon sort of situation in Minecraft. Where like Minecraft, and this wasn't always the case, but they eventually were like, all right, what's quote unquote beating this game? And Minecraft has that.
That is true. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, but I feel like I never actually played. I've never beaten Minecraft, if that's the case. All the combat stuff I just never messed around with. But I've been up till 4 a.m.
You
playing
just
with
playing
friends
Minecraft,
online.
yeah. Which I
Yeah,
mean,
just playing
that's
Minecraft.
that's
And that's
valid.
crazy you say that. I've never, maybe I'm a little bit too old. I don't know. Like for me, it was just like fun to do it with my friends online in college.
That's
And I
valid.
never actually, I'm realizing right now, I never beat Minecraft.
I think that that's
Uh,
going to be like the mark for success with Pokopia in that same
sure.
kind of way, where like it does have that kind of like end goal for people that feel like they need that hard structure in their video game.
Yeah.
But also it's something that you want to just dump a bunch of hours into because of insert whatever side thing that you're also able to do. Like for me, I think that a mark of success for this will be like how fun multiplayer is. because
Okay,
I
yeah.
think that a weak point of Animal Crossing New Horizons specifically is like multiplayer is not really fun. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of just like
My niece loves it. We literally will just she just wants to be in my world.
right.
Like that's it. And I'm
Yeah.
like, all right, what do we do now?
But the thing
There's
about
nothing
it
to
is
do.
like New Leaf, for instance, right? Like New Leaf had things to do in the game. Like it wasn't
Sure.
like
Yeah.
Animal Crossing New Horizons is like create your own adventure, but to its own detriment. It's like
Yeah.
they didn't try to design a game, so they're like, but they give you tools that you can kind of vaguely design your own. Like because you can do like the what is it called, the terrain manipulation stuff, because
Yeah.
you can do that in the game. You can be like, oh, I'm building a maze on my island, come to my island, see if you can figure out the maze, or that sort of thing. But in New Leaf, it would very like it has coded games that are like, this has points and you catch like bug catching contests and stuff,
Yeah.
like that kind of thing, right? I think that will be something that this game needs to clear, is like giving people things to do that's not just them kind of inventing their own fun, because at that point, like you
Sure.
can do that with literally any game. And I don't know if this one is the one that people are going to pick to be like, I'm going to make my own fun in Pokopia or Minecraft. People are probably going to pick Minecraft.
No, 100%. Because that is, I'm just being exposed every time I come on this podcast. Because what you're describing is literally like as a Pokemon fan, I'm trying to think of every reason, an excuse, and to stay in the game.
Yeah.
To extend my game session.
Right.
And I feel like a lot of the things that Pokemon fans love in Pokemon games are like made up.
Yeah.
Nuzlocking.
Yes.
Shiny hunting.
Yeah.
Right. But none of these things actually exist. Even like
That's why I be fighting them on the internet.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, yo, like, y'all are fighting for a thing that's made up, and that made up thing can still exist in a thing that is like more fully featured. Like they can build a lot of this value into the game and have more in the game, and you still don't lose the thing that you made up to make up for the fact that the game before had less of these features. Right.
Sure.
So that's really what my expectation is with this, or hope, I guess, is that there is more built-in actual things to do, in the same way that Legends EA has more built-in ingrained things to do than Arceus did.
Yeah, and I guess I think we're still just in the dark about this, and we'll probably get a new Pokopia trailer soon. But like, I don't know, like what are I if we could define like 3 things that we want to be able to do in this game, I'm not challenging anyone. I really don't even know. I haven't even given it that much thought because it's just been so long. I played most other I had a Switch for like 2 years before there was any good Pokemon games out. So I'm playing all these other games, and it just life got busy or whatever. So I haven't played that many other. I'm trying to think about like, what are we actually doing? We're discovering Pokemon, maybe like how Animal Crossing, you like discover bugs and fish and you have to like capture them,
right,
or befriend them. That seems very obvious and in line with what a Pokemon game is. There's I guess there could be quest lines to like, or things in the game to gamify terraforming.
Yeah,
building a house.
Because I think that's a lot of it.
Nice.
Is
like
the gamifying the terraforming. I think that's a big part of like why you collect the Pokemon, because it's like, oh, I found a water Pokemon, I can grow trees now because I can water the tree, that sort of situation.
I guess what I'm hoping is like, is this going to be Pokemon crafting the game, right? Are we finding Pokemon which help us like do more things with our house, which helps us like garden, and then the gardening is what we use to attract more Pokemon, which allows us to do more with the environment, and then that's just a constant feedback loop. Right.
I think that's exactly what it is. I think that it's like,
maybe it's that simple.
And I don't even the thing is, like, the more I think about it, the more I'm like annoyed, because it could be cooler than I know it's going to be, because it could very well be like a Minecraft situation where like even that base gameplay loop of like, all right, I'm on this world and all I have is a map, right? let me do the things. And it's like, even if you're like doing, base level Minecraft stuff, it's like, all right, well, first I gotta make a shovel so it's easier to
Yeah.
dig things. And all right, I got the shovel, let me build a pickaxe. All right, I got a pickaxe, let me get, and I'm gonna build
Yeah.
my house so I can store the stuff that I find when I'm digging and blah blah. I don't even think it's gonna have that kind of gameplay loop, in the sense
I
that
don't think
like
so either.
you start in this like, all right, I can kind of go off in any real direction, and it like whatever direction I take myself in will give me more things to like splinter off and have my way
Yeah.
with the world or whatever, right? I think that is going
Yeah.
to be very much so like, all right, the game's on now, you got to find Bulbasaur so that you can get to level 2 kind of thing.
I think everything that I love about Minecraft, it's like when you reset a game. Like, I think Minecraft is awesome. Like, every time you reset it, you start a new world, it's always going to be a little bit different. There's new things that like change the entire dynamic of that playthrough, like the start of that.
Yeah, because like literally where you spawn changes a lot of how you're going to approach the game.
And I guess I'm writing a script about Generation 10 right now. And I'm like, I'm actually hopeful the Gen 10 Pokemon game feels more like that, where it's like every time, there's going to be a lot of constants, but I want a Pokemon game that has that level of like I think when people say discovery, that's what they're looking for. It's like, I know what's going to be on every route. I know okay, this is a different topic, but like, I think Gen 10 is going to, I want a mainline Pokemon game that feels like the start of Minecraft, but I think I want this game. I think I'm expecting Pokopia to be more like Animal Crossing, where it's living, where you're gonna have the same save file for 5 years.
Yeah,
that's what I think.
Yeah. I mean, I think that that's their goal anyway, and I think that that's also the goal of Minecraft. Like, it's the same way that like Pokemon now, very clearly, and I think for a long time, ever since Pokemon Bank became a thing, I think that that's what they wanted, is like for you to have one save file, and you have this living like dex of Pokemon that's like, all right, well, I'm starting a new game, time to bring over like my old Pokemon, and they're gonna have eggs, and I'm gonna that kind of thing, right? Where it's a living document. I think that's also how they view this game. And how Minecraft is viewed, where it's like, all right, I've had this world since it came out on the original Xbox or whatever, right? But people do approach it differently, and they do start new games and stuff like that. And you can't really like control how people receive the thing, but I think that it is intended to be played like that. It's just a question of like, will people embrace it, and will it be able to facilitate that kind of play style? And so far from what we've seen, I don't know. Because again, I think that
I wonder how shallow it's gonna be. That's my biggest fear.
Yeah, I think that's my fear too. It's like I just don't have
nothing here.
I don't have faith that it's gonna be deep enough to be able to justify this foray into this game type. Because I think the like in a perfect world, and like, so like look at Pokemon compared to Mario, right? When they make a new Mario spinoff, it's exciting because it's like, well, Mario's gonna they're gonna do all the base level stuff, right? Like it's going to be at least a decent version of whatever it is. It's going to be a good enough racing game. But what does the Mario world add to this, right? It's going to be a good basketball game. But what does Mario being in here, like that kind of thing? Yeah. Pokemon doesn't really do that. Like when Pokemon does a spinoff, it's like this, this is like the only like the baseline expectation that a lot of people have, and it's not a good one, is like, it's going to be babies first, insert whatever genre. And I think that that's bad.
Like a cash grab,
Yeah.
It's just like they outsourced their development of a game and just put the Pokemon coat of paint on it, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that is really a bummer, because you're right. It's like when Mario is an RPG, it's so good, right? It's not just like an afterthought. It's like they make a good game.
It's good to the point where the RPGs that people are like saying this is the best RPG to come out in a long time is literally just hyper realistic Paper Mario RPG gameplay mechanics, right? Like that's a Mario mechanic in an RPG. I don't think Pokemon contributes that same kind of thing, even though it could, because its world, I think, has a lot of fun gameplay ideas. It's but almost they just don't really utilize them.
Yeah, I don't want to like assume an intention, but like it's almost as if like the Mario games, or right, for just to continue with the example, like when Mario branches out to these different genres, they're actually trying to put their best foot forward and like leave a good lasting impressions. Like they're trying to be like, no, well, like Mario will be as good as anything else. Like they're trying to
Right.
actually be seen by people who are not Mario fans. Whereas these Pokemon games, they're making different genres of Pokemon games for existing Pokemon fans, right?
Yeah.
That's how that's the difference I see, and that is kind of a bummer because literally the way I set up the show is I'm a Pokemon fan first, right? So,
Yeah.
so they clocked me.
But that's the thing, though. It's like it's frustrating for me because it's like I think that there is potential in that. It's just the
Yeah.
way that they do it is disappointing because they shouldn't. And the same way that kid analogy becomes a thing, right? Where it's like, yeah, you have the like lazy cash grab like
Yeah.
kid movies and TV shows and stuff like that, but then you have Pixar, and
Yeah.
Pixar is like the easy example, but there's a lot of people like Bluey is a recent example where it's like people that understand how like what being a human actually is realize that kids are capable of more complex thought than colorful thing loudly
yes.
talking at me on the flashing TV. Like
Yeah.
and I think that they understand that like that's to like this media is way more important than people realize it is, and to start them early in understanding that, even if it's not like something that they've realized that they're retaining, is important,
Yeah.
And I think that, or I wish that the people that make Pokemon related things, games especially, recognize that too, where it's like, well, we can make this have more meat on the bone because it's not like, and I'll say I also think that attitude isn't necessarily how they think. I think that that's like hand wavy, backed against the wall, hardcore Pokemon fan defense. It's like, well, it's a good game. Of course it's bad. It's for kids. It's like, I don't think that they feel that way. But
I'd like to live in a world where all of a sudden these games are just like so great.
Yeah. Because who does that hurt? Like the games all being like actually good, Like
it hurts someone's pocket to make them,
Does
that
it?
Must be what it is.
I don't know if it does.
Not my pocket.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the creators.
Yeah, even the creator. It's like I don't think I believe that either. Because like look at Grand Theft Auto, right? Like they're spending literally billions with a B on the next Grand Theft Auto video game, and that game is going to make them back billions with a B. So I think that there is value in investing a lot of money, and I don't even think that. I think that Grand Theft Auto is bloated. I don't think they need to invest billions, and I don't necessarily think that investing billions. I don't necessarily think that investing billions makes the game any better or worse. But I do think that, and that's why I like hate that the whole like budget conversation, because it's just a bunch of people that don't know what they're talking about. They saw a number on the thing, and then they hear that detached number from different studio with different like conditions and different employee, like based in different countries and all this other kind of stuff. And they're like 20 million. That sounds way lower than what Sony said that they spent on Spider-Man. And it's different situations, different hardware.
Yeah, we don't really know what's going on behind the scenes like that. Yeah, so it's tough to actually gauge like to equate that to quality, because then you got like indie games like just knocking it out of the park because they're really focused, or they have a good writing team, or they have a really good idea. So yeah, it really is. It ends up the quality conversation ends up being like kind of just like pretty subjective,
right?
Overall, yeah. So I started thinking now, I'm like, I think it would be pretty cool if in this game, and there's precedence for them to not do this, but for them to add shiny hunting into this game.
That'd be cool, right? But every time I hope that in a Pokemon spinoff, they don't do it. Because it's a perfect game for shinies? Pokemon Snap. And they didn't. They didn't do it. So if they didn't do it in Pokemon Snap, I don't have any sort of hope that they'll do it in this one. Granted, they did some, like they're doing some stuff that's a little bit, like the Pokopia exclusive Pokemon situation, like the Moslax and what's the Pikachu's name?
you got Pikachu, you got
Mm.
Smear Guru, and Mosslax.
Yeah. So
And
there's
then Professor Tangrowth, he just gets like a prefix. He just gets like an official title, Doctor.
they're
Yeah, Doctor
absolutely,
Tangrowth.
this is
Yeah.
a tangent, but they're all absolutely putting maybe all of them in Pokemon Go, but at least we're getting
Sure, definitely in
a
Pokemon Go.
progressive a Professor Tangrowth.
Professor
We're at
Tangrowth.
least getting that.
You got it, dude. Yeah. I think so I guess yeah, that's where I was kind of gonna go next with this, where I'm like, okay, maybe we don't get shiny Pokemon, but I do think it'd be I do think there's maybe a possibility for us to get like special or more rare versions of Pokemon that isn't a shiny, but it's like maybe specific to this region, or this like location. Again, just for the hunt of, and maybe it's just like alphas, right? Maybe
Mhm.
it's just like bigger Pokemon or something. But I do think Pokemon fans are pretty primed for any sort of like collectathon. And
Yeah.
if there are Pokemon that are rarer than others, um, outside of the species, because you don't want to like, I feel like over the last 20 years, like Pokemon have stopped becoming rare because it's like you don't want to exclude someone from finding the creature
Mhm.
that you've designed, right? It's like you want to give everyone access to the Pokemon, but the shiny or the alpha or like all these other like like versions of the same Pokemon, that's kind of how they've leaned, that's where they've leaned. And
Yeah.
so I'm wondering if there could be something like that. But regardless, we have these new Pokemon, these new like they're like characters, you know? They're like yeah, what do you think about them?
I mean, I don't know what their use case is in the game, so I
Yeah.
couldn't really say. It feels so far to me, it feels like they're like glorified like landmarks for where you are in the game,
Yeah.
where it's like, oh, you're in the moss area, so here's Mosslax kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
Which is like fine, neither here nor there. You know, it's like finding on topic what people were talking about earlier. It's like finding an upgrade in Metroid. It's like, oh, okay,
Yeah.
I can traverse the moss area effectively because I have Mosslax now. That's what it feels
Yeah.
like they are, which it's not really exciting to me personally, but I'm interested to see if they will be more than that. Because really,
I wonder if
that's what it feels like Pokemon are in this game in general. Is like it's like Metroidvania vibes of like, all right, you have this Pokemon and now you can do this, which
yeah.
is something that I think has interesting potential in a Pokemon game, but I just don't think that they're going to stick the landing on making it interesting. And instead, they're going to make it feel like gatekeepy in an annoying way.
Yeah.
Like,
Sticking on like the Mario theme, it's like Mario Odyssey. It's kind of what I was imagining.
yeah,
Like in this game, you're Ditto. Honestly, Kirby's maybe a better example, right?
yeah.
They're both pink
Kirby's a
blobs,
way because
right?
the thing about Mario Odyssey is like they want you or not want you they give you the layup of like you can capture this specific enemy and that's how you get through this, but you could also like just skill diff it. You could just do like
Yeah,
crazy like cappy jump skips and all
Yeah,
that kind of
yeah,
stuff. And I think that is like the interesting potential that I was like alluding to, but they're going to fall flat and it's going to be Kirby Star Allies where it's like you gotta get this
Yeah.
fire enemy to clear this puzzle.
Sure. Dude, Kirby's so much fun. Like what was it? The Kirby game on the 64? Like that was the coolest thing growing up, where you could combine powers. I
Mm.
felt like a god when I used to like combine. I'd get this like electric sword or something, and I'm like, I'm literally unstoppable. Anyways, so what I'm thinking that these Pokemon are, Pikachu, for example, Mosslax. I wonder if these are like, any Pokemon you capture or befriend or mimic or you transform into as the Ditto, they'll be like base powers or like, that'll help you like traverse or do things around the island. And I feel like these things are going to be like unlockables that give you a very specific tool or a new ability.
Mhm.
The only one I can really peg is like maybe Professor Tangrowth. I mean, you meet him in the beginning, but like he's got the TM on his head, and I'm wondering if that like will allow you to like, I don't know, do something with, or maybe Tangrowth is the character. Yeah, I'm thinking.
I think that he's like Tangrowth is probably the character that you bring the other characters that you found, and
Yeah.
and they close the loop of like, oh, okay, you
Yeah.
found Bulbasaur, now you can learn Vine Whip.
Yeah.
And
And the TM on his head, right? Like that little CD.
yeah,
No, that makes sense. The CD on his head is like an indicator that like, okay, Professor Tangrowth is going to help you
I'm the
make
TM
sense of all
guy.
these Pokemon.
Yeah,
Yeah, I'm going to teach you these abilities.
exactly.
And then so the only one I can also clock is like Smear Guru. Makes me think maybe you'll be able to learn how to like alter the color or paint or make a pattern
Yeah, like
on certain surfaces,
the
like in Animal
dyes in
Crossing.
Minecraft.
Yeah, exactly.
Mhm.
Yeah. That's the only two I can really think about. I don't know what Moslax would be. Maybe like regeneration of health, but there's no battling. So like, what is that? Also Moslax is like in a cave that's like glow. Like, could there be mines in this game?
Uh, who
I don't know.
knows? Who knows?
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what to think about the gameplay implications of this video game. I don't know how much
Because
of a
yeah,
game it'll be.
no,
But
I have no idea either, man. But I think about like Minecraft and Stardew Valley and think about, and these are selective thoughts, but because I'm not thinking, because Animal Crossing has no combat, but Dragon Quest Builders does have a combat,
that is true. And I mean,
and so that's what makes me kind of
Dragon Quest
hopeful.
is like, proto Pokemon kind of with that whole thing. So like
True, yeah, that's
maybe
true.
that's what they were looking at when they made this. They're like,
Yeah,
yo, they made Dragon Quest builders. We need Pokemon builders. But
which would be sick.
I
I mean,
don't
it really would be like this game could be so great. That's the thesis. This game could be so great.
it
In my
could be.
mind,
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, that sounds good, but we'll see.
I just
We'll
think
see.
that if it was that good, we would have saw a lot of the stuff that is
You
in
don't,
that game
you don't think?
already.
I think at the end of the trailer, they kind of suggest like, oh, something's gonna happen. Like there's kind of and I guess I'm wondering like if they introduce the game to us like they did with this 10-minute trailer, and then they kind of like, I think, hold on, I'm scrubbing the trailer right now. You see the new Pokemon, and I feel like it goes to like nighttime. You know,
Mhm.
I feel like, hold on, that's Pokopia. Snorlax is there, and then he opens his mouth, he's yawning, and then, oh, he's yawning because he's going to bed, and then it fades to darkness. No, that's okay. All right, never mind. I don't know if there's I feel like I'm just like, I could see a trailer in January where they go, guess what? There's also fighting in a Pokemon game because it's a Pokemon game.
And you know what? That was
And that'd be
something
sick.
else that I don't think I actually said anything in the chat, but that was something that you guys were talking about, like the combat thing. I don't think this game needs combat to be a fuller
No,
experience. I think that it can,
because it would still be shallow. Like if it's shallow,
yeah,
it's just gonna be
exactly,
shallow with or without the
exactly.
battling. Yeah.
I think that this game could feel like a bigger thing than it currently does,
Yeah.
with or without it. If that's the thing that they use to make it feel more full, then cool, I guess. Like
Yeah.
that's a more like comfortable on ramp, I guess. But I don't need that. I just want something that it feels like I have things to do with my friends. Cause
Yeah.
like I think that was a big part of this trailer too, where it's like you could play with 3 other people. Isn't that cool? But like, what are we doing?
Yeah.
Like,
No, I hear you. And I'm looking on the site. I'm trying to look for keywords, and it says, after a satisfying day of crafting, building, and gardening, relax in your very own paradise, or invite Pokemon and your friends to visit. The choice is yours. Like that's all you can do.
yeah,
I think
and
I also
it
think
feels like
about,
photo mode bait. That's what it feels like to me.
yeah, yeah, and it's like, could this game, would this game be better off not having to cater? I think about this like Venn diagram. All right, I'm like, for all the people who love Pokemon, that is such a big circle.
Mhm.
And then you also have a circle that has a lot of crossover of people who enjoy these like lifestyle games or whatever you want to call them, right?
Right.
And I'm like, that's a lot of people.
It's a whole lot of people, yeah.
That's millions of people.
Yep.
But I'm like, would the diagram, would the two circles get closer together if it also had combat, or would that actually detract? Would that almost like messy the vision?
I don't think it would
and,
messy
like,
anything.
The brand of the
it really
game?
just depends on how well it's done. But I
Sure.
think what would
Because if there's like, I'm sorry, but like if there's combat, are they now opening themselves up to criticism to like compare it to the
to be
mainline
like
games?
the
Now
combat
you get
in
all
this
the
game is
angry,
not good. Yeah.
Yeah, it's like,
Right.
do they even want that? Because that's a new system they got to create. I don't
But I
know.
think that would be the case if the combat, like, it's not like people that play, especially it's not this, like people that play Pokemon have like
Yeah.
this higher standard for combat, because I think the opposite is true. But like people that play these kinds of games, if the combat's bad, the combat's bad. You know, like
Yeah.
like people like the combat in Minecraft, especially like if you're playing on PC, like because then it gets even crazier if you're playing like the Java version or whatever, because then you can mod in different kind of weapon types and people
Yeah.
make all these crazy game modes like the Hunger Game situation. Like there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in Minecraft. So like if that's the standard, if we're like combining the pool of people that like games like this, like Minecraft, and then people that like Pokemon, I think that like really all you got to do is do it well, and both people will be happy.
Sure. Yeah.
But I just don't have. I mean, Koei Tecmo, they make combat
Maybe they're
games.
cooking.
I don't like most of the video games Koei Tecmo makes on a combat level because I don't like Warriors games. I think that they're
So yeah,
aggressively
tell me what they
uninteresting.
do. Is that what they do? They do like the
That's like most of their output. Like they announced like 4 Warriors games this year. Like and Warrior.
Okay.
Have you ever seen a Warriors game before? Like Hyrule Warriors, Fire
Yeah,
Emblem
I've seen
Warriors,
Hyrule Warriors, yeah.
that sort of thing. Like they're basically just like turn your brain off, satisfying power fantasy kind of thing. It's like
Sounds pretty good as a
one
Pokemon
person
fan.
and you're mulling through all these enemies, and like
Sure.
Jake was talking about when he was on the show, that there is like a level to it where it's like it's management in the sense where it's like, oh, they're taking over this threshold over here. I got to go over there and send my troops to that guy so that they don't get to take over. I have a little bit more time on this side, so I don't really have to go there yet. But I got to keep
Yeah.
that in mind too, because it could get real nasty over there. So you know, it's that as well.
Okay.
That's like a lot of.
So
what
I
they
guess
do.
they could do that in this.
They could.
I mean, I don't
but I don't
I
think
mean, I
so.
feel like there is like a
And they
dumbed
don't
down
just make
version
that,
they
but
could
that
do.
is like what they mostly make right now. Like that's most of the
Yeah.
games that they've been releasing.
So I'm on the Koei Tecmo America Corp website, and I'm just scrolling through these. I was trying to look at their oldest games, but it's like it went back to like 2021, and they worked on a Monster Rancher game, 1 and 2 DX on the Apple App Store and Steam and Switch.
That's funny.
And I don't think
I
I'd
didn't know
actually
they
ever
still
played
made
Monster.
Monster Rancher games.
Yeah, me neither. I know, but it's a monster catching game that I remember from the 2000s or whatever. So sorry, I just
I've
had to
heard
bring
of
that
it.
up. I was
You know what?
shocked.
What's funny is like I hear Lee talk about Monster Rancher a decent amount, and it's like this
Sure.
is something I've always heard people say. Like it's like a name that I've heard a lot. I couldn't
Yeah.
name you a character for Monster Rancher.
I don't know any characters.
I don't
There's
know
like some
nobody from that because like, to me it was like
there's like a one-eyed monster that I remember.
there's like
He's got, like,
Pokemon,
plating.
and then there's like Digimon, where like I saw like
Yeah.
bits and pieces of like the first 3 seasons. I could probably name like 12 Digimon if I gun to my head. And then there's everything else that like the Monster
Yeah.
Ranchers is like, yeah, I saw this. I saw commercials for this, but I don't know nothing about this game.
No.
That's where I'm at. Oh yeah, they also make Koei Tecmo. They made Dead or Alive, which is a fighting game.
Okay.
And they make a spin-off of that, which is like the horny volleyball game. They got that.
Sure. I think I remember that from. Yeah, I think I actually remember seeing. Yes, I had that game Informer magazine, and there. I think I do remember specifically there being like a breakdown, a review of one of those games. Yeah, I
That's
think I paid a
funny.
lot of attention to
And
that.
then they also made Marvel Ultimate Alliance, which is like not that different
Okay.
from a Warriors kind of thing, for being honest.
Yeah, so they're doing a lot of
like they do beat 'em ups kind of
Yeah.
vibes.
How the heck did they get picked for this type of game?
I think they're
Probably
just,
Dragon Quest.
I think it's just they're one of those studios that Nintendo has close relationship with, and Pokemon
They
was
pitched
like,
them
yo, we can,
Yeah.
let's use them too, kind of
Yeah.
thing. So I couldn't even
I-
tell
I-
you who pitched who on that, because I don't think either person pitching this game makes any sense. Like if I'm Pokemon,
I think this game's gonna surprise us, dude. I think
I
it
hope
actually
so.
could be.
I hope so.
I think it could be fun. It looks simple. It looks inconsequential. I really think it could just like. I think it could just again because it's like, what is it trying to accomplish? And I don't even think we know that yet. But like is it trying to be just Animal Crossing Pokemon? If that's the case, it's not a low bar because there's a lot to do in Animal Crossing, but like it's just a vibe game.
Yeah,
There's crafting, there's collecting. That's all you need. I think this could have that, you know? But you're right. These elements have to be dynamic. They can't just be like, it can't be, you're right. You're right. It can't be baby's first Animal Crossing.
Yeah, it can't.
Because then I'll go play Animal Crossing.
Exactly. And I think baby's first Animal Crossing, it's too diluted. It's too diluted at that point. Because Animal Crossing could be baby's first Animal Crossing. Like, why do I need a baby's first Animal Crossing of all games to need a baby's first version of?
Dude, there should be like the edgy older brother. There should be like a 12-year-old.
That's Stardew Valley.
12-year-old's first. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Or Sims. That's right. Sims, honestly.
Yeah, that is Sims.
So like, you don't fit in here. Like they have to do something better than that, and I just don't.
Dude, I want to make a base. That sounds fun.
But that's why, Dusty. That's why I've been saying I'm sick of these spin-offs. Like, I'm sick of it. Just do it in the game. Like, just put it in the game.
No, you're right.
Like,
you're right.
Being like, we could do this like half-assed version of base building in the video game to make people want a full base building game. That's dumb. Just put it in the game.
Yeah. No, you're right. I feel like when we talk, I start making like I default to the bargaining phase of grief, right?
I think a lot of Pokemon people do
give
that.
Give it to me here.
They do it a lot. That's like, and they've been conditioned to feel that way, which like fair, I guess, right?
I literally do though. Like that's actually what it is. I'm just like constantly trying to bargain with, and Masuda's not listening to me.
Yeah, no, I don't bargain. I'm yelling at them. And to be fair, we talked about this. I started bargaining. I was like, this be cool. They did that, and they can still kind of do it. Now I'm like, no, do it now.
Do it, dude. I guess so we got to make our way through the holidays, and then I'm expecting in the new year some more trailers because the game's supposed to come out in March, so I'm pretty excited.
Yeah, we're definitely getting another like the bare minimum. We're getting a Pokemon Day. Mention pre-order bonus kind of situation.
Oh, I guess should we talk about because this game also is a key card game.
I was literally going into that. The game key card. So this is a never-ending saga within the Nintendo community. I know that you don't know or care about any of that.
There's some drama that I've seen, and I'm trying to understand the game key. I think I understand what it is. Like,
so
can I attempt?
Yeah,
to
go for it. Or I am interested to know what's your take on it. How do you feel, and what's your understanding of what the situation is?
I think this would bother me so much like a couple years ago, but I don't know. I don't know if it's just because I'm thinking about starting a family with my wife, and like I have a different threshold for like anger and like outrage. Like I don't know. I'm like trying to be funny, but I just mean like
it's true though.
or maybe I'm just numb. Maybe I'm just like my brain, my feelings have been hurt so bad that I'm just like numb and I'm raw because like there are I spent my like when everyone was buying Pokemon cards, I was buying like Pokemon DS cartridges, right? I was like hoarding Pokemon games so I could play them into the future. Like I want to be able to play Heart Gold, Soul Silver, Black and White, right? Like these are the games where I'm like, I want to be able to play these in the future, and they might not always be available, and I might not always have I don't know if these are ever going to be ported. So I have spent a lot of time in anguish and just like mental energy panicking at the idea that like currently you can't bring any of those Pokemon, and none of those games now connect with Pokemon Home. I think there is a way to do it with Pokemon Bank.
Yeah,
you still have
it.
Pokemon Bank, yeah. But like, it's like for new fans getting into the series, like those games are unavailable. Like I'm 31 years old. I have those games. I've spent the money. A lot of them I just inherited. Not inherited, but like I accumulated over my lifetime as a Pokemon fan. But if someone gets into the series, they don't have access to those games. And I think that's the root of the problem, that the key card is a threat that in 20 years, maybe 10 years, these games will no longer be supported by Nintendo. And then you're basically purchasing nothing. And then I want to hear what you have to say. But then the other layer where it's like I get confused and I kind of just like put my hands up and I'm like, I don't know what to tell you. I'm like past outrage is that like, I don't think we own anything. Even if you buy this game digitally, you don't own it. You know?
Mm-hmm.
Like I don't own any of my music. I stream it from Spotify. Before that, when I bought stuff on iTunes, I didn't own any of that either. You know?
Uh-huh.
So this is where I'm just like, what are we? And you could tell me, but I'm like, am I missing what people are mad at? Because those things are frustrating, but I'm also like, I've kind of just accepted it over the last 10 years.
So I think that you did a good job at explaining the kind of thing that they're mad at.
Yeah.
And for me, I think that it just illustrates either for the people that are mad, ignorance of how things work in reality, or extreme pessimism. Because like and in some ways it's obtuse, in some ways it's absolutely obtuse, because people are like, well, I gotta buy copies of this game because like I have the game and it will last forever if I have the physical copy. Forget the fact that batteries can die, because I can go find a Radio Shack somewhere and somewhere that has still a Radio Shack, like that kind of thing, right? And it's like, you're not connecting the dots here, that like you got to jump through hoops to keep physical media in the same kind of way that you can preserve digital media. You just gotta jump through hoops a little bit. The mod your Switch, and then you could dump your digital ROM.
100%.
Like
that is a real thing.
It's
like,
that kind of thing.
People
like
mod their systems,
and you don't even gotta. And that's just one of the relatively easier ways to do this. But there is hardware to dump digital media. Digital media, that iTunes example that you got, right? I've purchased music off of iTunes, and I still have that music not in iTunes because I took the file out of iTunes and moved it elsewhere, like that kind of thing, right?
That's a good point. No, that's a good point. Yeah. I just remember like it says like you're signing a contract that says you don't own any of it.
Right. But that's always been a case. Like we're the same age. So I know you've seen the like disclaimer at the beginning of movies of it being like, this is a license. You don't own this. FBI will come and kill you if you try to use this as it. But
they're like, if they find me,
it's like every infringement is up to $250,000 fine, yada yada yada, right? Like
we used to send MP3s through Facebook Messenger to my friends. I used to send MP3 files.
And we have literally never owned any of this. The only thing that physical media does is it makes you feel like you do. It makes you feel like, because you're holding it in your hand, that you can own it. But now, especially, like the same threat, I want to emphasize, I'm air quoting for the audio listeners, is that the company can be like, no, you can't have this anymore. But that same threat exists for physical media. Because if your thing is attached to the internet, they can patch your thing and say, nope, GG's.
Yes.
But I don't recognize this game anymore. And then, the mental gymnastics that people go through, it's like, well, I'll just know that they're going to patch it, and I'll just disconnect from the internet every time that I turn on my thing for the rest of all time. I'll never connect to the internet because, it's like, come on, man. Like that is such a disingenuous set of arguments to justify the way that you feel about a thing. If people just like physical media, that's fair, that's fine, that's all well and good. I like empathize with people that genuinely are scared about the idea that someday Nintendo will disappear and will no longer have access to these things, right? But it all is based in speculation and fear. Like that, that's what it is. It's like, in theory, someday Nintendo won't exist in this game. It's like, well,
it just seems like a problem that I want to worry about in 10 years, I guess.
Nintendo has already existed for almost 100 more years than either one of us.
Sure.
So the assumption being that they are definitely going to disappear, and all access to the media that they produce will also disappear before we do. Is just fear mongering, is just speculation. It's not based in fact. The closest thing that people have when they argue this is like, well, PT, I can't buy, PT, the Silent Hill prototype demo thing that Kojima did on PlayStation 4.
I didn't hear about this. No.
So he did a prototype for a Silent Hill reboot. And they released a playable test was called PT on the PlayStation. And then that went belly up because Kojima's relationship with Konami went belly up. So they took the game off, or the playable test off of the store. So people are like, see, they can do that. They can take stuff off the store. You can
do whatever they want.
You can never play
crazy.
the thing again. And it's like, to me, it's like, that's no different than a game going out of print.
Yeah.
I can't just go to the store and buy Pokemon Stadium at GameStop.
No. Okay. And I think this is the thing that we're like, this is the thing that actually bothers me. I think more than ownership, I go, okay, if we don't own anything, then these big companies, like, you got to make these things accessible then, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
I think it's almost imperative that they do make these things accessible.
So here's the thing, right? Like, I agree with you, but I can't in good faith tell you that I can muster anger at them to do the thing, right? Because to me, that kind of anger is like, our government needs to make sure that people are able to consume food and have shelter and access to clean water, right? Like, that's something that I'm like angry about, right? Not being able to play Mario Sunshine on my Nintendo Switch system does not matter to me that much. It would be cool, and that's the thing. For me, it's like, I think that it behooves Nintendo as a company that is like for profit to do things that people want to give them money for. And it is our job to make them regret that they don't do that by being like, okay, I genuinely only like, the only way I engage with Nintendo is I play Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64. I don't want to play any other game that they ever do. And I have 3 million friends that feel exactly the same as me. And you won't get our 3 million people's money unless you put Paper Mario on the Nintendo 64 on a console that I can give you money for, right? Like, that's the farthest that it can go for them specifically. Yeah. But it's like, people use all this energy, gamers specifically use all this energy to like argue the things and use the language of like having access to clean water and shelter and food for Paper Mario and the Nintendo 64. Yeah. And for me, it's just like, those are two different things. It's not the same. Like, I can't be mad at them for that. Yeah. I can only be like, well, you're not giving me the game, so like you won't get the money that I have for that thing, you know? That's just what it is.
I guess I'm seeing this as like, I do think it's a little bit, I think I'm a little unfazed. Maybe we're both a little unfazed because it's like, we have seen this in the past start to creep up. Like, so this isn't like less of a shock for me or whatever. I guess the idea, because it is true. And I was speaking to my friends about this, like over the weekend, we hung out and played Pokemon IRL. It was super fun. But like, we were talking about how like, yeah, it would be kind of sucky if like, you know, the next Pokemon game, right, was not on a cart. But here's the thing. Starting with the Nintendo Switch, none of my save data, which is actually like, for me as a Pokemon fan, all of my memories, all everything, like the identity, like the experiences are all personified in the save data, right? With the 500 hours of like save data, right? On my Sword version, for example, right?
Right.
But none of it's actually on the cart. And that was a new thing from DS to or 3DS to Switch.
But I think
where
that
instead of all the data being on the cart, it's now on the system.
That makes it easier to preserve that save data, though. Because like, because
yeah,
like in the same breath,
but there's a separation there. There's a separation.
Yeah,
I want to say, like,
for sure,
between like, because mentally I'm like, oh, it's on the cart. Like I have like a bunch of carts right there, and I'm like, there's nothing actually on those carts. I'll often think like, oh, if I fill my water on them, I'll lose my save data, and then I'm like, no, I won't. It's on my system.
Right.
It's all on my system.
So me, you know? I have like 3 copies of Pokemon Emerald for some reason. None of the save doesn't work on any of them. And that's physical media. I'm supposed to have it forever. Like, but I still got my save from every digital Pokemon game I've ever played. You know?
Yeah, dude. Oh, dude, it's just I think there's like a mixture of emotions that are happening, which are totally valid. Like, again, it does suck to think like, oh, I'm spending again $70, right? If they're gonna start raising these prices,
right?
And again, I've said before, like the prices don't bother me that much because I I'm really just here for
Yeah, you only buy Pokemon. That was something else I was going to ask you, because another part of this, and like a lot of people with the game key cards is like, I'm not going to buy a game key card because, like, to me, like me personally, right? There's a lot of stuff that like there's like things that people take stances on and are like, I'm not going to support this company because blah blah blah. Me personally, I don't like drawing lines in sands in the sand in that kind of way, because I think a lot of times the lines that people draw in the sand is like how close they were to being detached from it anyway. And I think a lot of times that's where I'm at, right? Like, I'm not that loud about the fact that I don't support Harry Potter because I didn't like it anyway. So it feels crazy to me. It feels crazy to me.
Star Wars was always better.
It feels crazy to me to like, berate somebody that has some sort of connection to Harry Potter that struggles with the idea of letting it go. Because that's not like that. Like it feels crazy to do that. Like it's like with the Xbox thing even, right? Like
it's not true to me, so I'm not gonna make a big fuss about it, right?
And like for me, right, it's like Xbox being on the BDS list, right? I stopped giving money to Xbox.
Yep.
I don't think that it's fair to me to go to somebody else that like their only game system that they have is Xbox. They don't work in this industry, that to be like, I know you spent $600 on this Xbox a month ago. Buy another console, right? Like I think it's harder to do that kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
And this is where I feel with the game key cards situation, where it's like people can say that it's like, well, I'm not going to buy game key cards, but because you don't really care. If you really wanted to buy the game, you're just going to buy it digitally, and that's like this fake stance. If you actually wanted to take a stance and you actually were like, I'm going to put my money where my mouth is, I don't want them to make game key cards, you wouldn't buy the game at all. You wouldn't buy the game digitally or a game key card if you don't support the fact that they made a game key card. But people are not going to do that.
What I'm realizing is the key card, all the key card is you're just buying the game digitally.
Yeah.
At a physical location. That's all it is.
And that's all it is. Yes.
Which is actually not that outrageous. And I think that's where I'm like, it's not that different. It's really, I bought albums on iTunes.
I think it's them.
I don't own them.
It's them bargaining. It's them being like, well, this is at the end of the day, we're steering towards all digital. Like, that's just where technology's going. We're going to get rid of the floppy disks eventually. Yeah. Right. But they still see value in having the physical presence of like you being in Walmart or whatever store you frequent and walking past the game section and be like, oh, there's that physical thing that like $70, I'll buy that. Oh, it's on sale for $30. I'll definitely, like that.
Maybe I'm a boomer, but I literally every time I go to Target, I'm like, let me do a little lap around.
I think a lot of people do that. Is the thing.
Yeah, maybe I'll see something. And I want to be inspired.
And it's not even just for us, people that even think to do that. It's also for the grandmas that are like, little Billy's birthday is coming up. Let me go to the video game section. I know he likes those. And
dude, in the physical thing is also so real because I'm like, we all live online. Everything that we have is online. That's what this discussion's about. Everything is digital. It is nice to have something that is physically representing your hobby or your interest, or to feel like you've got something that you can like visually show that like, I'm also getting this with, my purchase or whatever. Yeah. I bought, really cool. That's why I still buy physical stuff.
I got this.
There it is, dude. 100%.
I got the wait, where is it? This one. There, GameStop is having or no, not GameStop, Amazon having a sale right now on Amiibo. Yeah. I got that Amiibo yesterday for $10.
Oh, that's sick, dude. They're fun to have around, your space. It's totally valid. It's totally valid. I just think, I don't know. I guess I don't want to like put words in people's mouths and be like, this is not how you think, but I'm just like, I don't know. It's valid because it's like,
I think it is how they think, but I think that the problem is
not at the wrong thing. Maybe.
Yes. That's almost always what it is. It's like you're wrong at the wrong. I mean, you're mad at the wrong thing. And I think that like, again, it's fair to feel that way that they do about like, well, I get the peace of mind of having the physical thing. If I have the physical thing, that I can in theory have this thing forever. I get that. But for me, it's like I stop short of like agreeing with it because as somebody that like I have the opposite experience, right? Like in the beginning of the Nintendo Switch life, I was like, I'm going to be all physical, and it was for a different reason. I don't really care about having the plastic on the shelf. But at the end of the day, that's how I felt. I was like, I'm going to go all physical because Best Buy Gamer Club, and I get 20% off, and blah 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 blah. Right? I don't have any of those games anymore, and it's for various reasons. It's like people stole them, I lost them in moves, and all cartridges break, and all.
Sure.
This is the thing that the people that are arguing against game key cards say lasts forever, and I take really good care of my things. This is like something I do for a living, and I have lost physical games. I can't say the same for my digital games. I still have access to every digital game I've purchased on my Nintendo Switch and on my Xbox and on my PlayStation and on my Steam Deck or whatever, right? Like, and that's the whole other side of it, right? It's like there's also PC gaming. There hasn't been a real physical presence in PC gaming in decades at this point, really. Yeah. And
oh my God, you're right.
That's just fine. That's just okay, because people realize on PC that you can still back up your video games without having a piece of plastic. You don't need it.
Yeah.
All it does is add waste. That's really waste and clutter. I'm like,
the nail in the coffin with this whole thing being about Pokopia is that because Pokopia is an Animal Crossing style game, I don't think most people are going to be playing Pokopia. I don't think it'll be any fun in 10 years because
or maybe if it is Animal Crossing, people might be playing it for 10 years. If it is Animal Crossing,
it's a banger. Yeah. But I'm saying like Pokopia is what? It's a living game where there's like timed events for certain times of the year. I'm like, you're going to play it online with your friends. It's a game that you got to play here and now. And if you're playing this game, here's the other thing. If you're playing this game in 10 years, best believe you got your $70 worth, and you probably would be willing to spend another $70 to get it in 10 years from now. I would.
You're going to get Pokopia too. But like to your point, and where I thought you were going with this, with the Animal Crossing comparison, I think Animal Crossing is a terrible game to have physically. It's a terrible game to have physically.
Yeah.
It's so much better to have it digitally. Because the thing is like, what people do when they play Animal Crossing 10 years removed, it's like, I gotta check it on my villagers. I gotta, do my dailies, water my plants, and
exactly. Dailies. You don't want to be flipping carts 100%.
Exactly. 100%. I gotta check the store today. That kind of thing. What's the turn-up prices looking like?
It's like your 10-minute. You do that while you make your coffee.
I don't want to rummage through my cartridges to do that. To open the game for 25 minutes.
Yeah,
I'm going through my digital library. I'm opening the app, and I'm going to do my thing, and I'm gonna close the app.
Honestly, dude, I'm even starting now that there's like multiple Pokemon games. I mean, there've been multiple Pokemon games on Switch, but like there for a while there was like 3, and I'm only playing Sword and Shield, or I'd only play like Scarlet and Violet. But like, I think I might start buying Pokemon games digitally. Because I'm like, it's just easier to toggle between them all.
It makes me tight, and not actually, but in a joking online internet meme kind of way. Whenever I'm streaming with Lee and we're playing Smash, and then we switch to Pokemon, he's like, "Oh wait, I gotta get the cartridge." I'm like,
like, "Come on, man, we can be playing right now."
Cartridges.
There's live viewers.
What is this? 1997? What are you doing?
The stream retention went down because you're fumbling with your
just press X.
Your cartridge
press X and then press A. That's all you gotta do, man.
Oh my God, dude. So I don't know. It's one of those things where it's like I just feel kind of removed from it, and I think I am partially like just a little. I think I'm just numb to it. It's like I've been burned on this in the past, so it's like whatever. Dude, I have so many vinyl records over there and CDs, and guess what? I do have a vinyl player, but it's like kind of busted, and I didn't want to spend more money on a new one in the last couple of years. And I have a CD player in my car, but I only use that like once in a while in the summer with the windows.
Do you have a means to ripping your vinyl records to digital medium or any kind of other medium?
I don't. I just. I was gonna ask you this. I listen to Spotify mostly. I was gonna ask you this, like thought exercise, because this is what it's equivalent to. What if they just removed like a bunch of your favorite albums? Like, what if you could not access? I don't know. I guess maybe you have CDs and vinyls of like Kendrick Lamar, but I'm trying to think of like
what if they took To Pimp a Butterfly off of Apple Music? Yeah, I would just like. I usually buy stuff off of iTunes if I really like the song. I mean, like that song, the album, or whatever. I've always done that. I just buy it off of iTunes, and for me, that's like again, like I said before, like I still have albums that I like in digital form that are not specifically stored because iTunes, the app, doesn't exist anymore. At least on Mac. I think that it might still be on PC. I don't know.
Sure.
But yeah, that's what it is. I just buy the digital format of the thing.
But I guess what I'm saying is like, what if like
if it was no longer on streaming services?
There's so many albums that I listen to that are 10 years old.
Mm-hmm.
What if they're just pulled from streaming services because they're no longer available? Like this, nightmare scenario where Pokopia on a game key card is not available in 10 years, in 2036, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what if I can't listen to Nothing Was the Same by Drake? That's never tragic.
I'm not gonna. I'm not taking that bait. I'm not taking that bait.
Anything you want. Take anything you want, right? Like, because this actually has happened to me. Like, there was like for like a decade, there was you could not listen to Neil Young on Spotify, which is like good for him, but also sucks for me because I don't have access to MP3s anymore. So just I don't know. Just like I don't know. That it's like I guess it kind of does screw with my head because I'm like
I think that that's like a solid thought experiment. But the thing is, it being physical and it being digital doesn't change that at all. Like you can still
you're right. It's digital. It's not,
like
right. Good point. Yeah.
If every game was specifically streaming, that's a different situation. Because then literally you don't have access to the file unless you have the key to stream the video game, right? That's not what this is. Even the game key card, the only scenario, right, where a game key card becomes something that is like completely inaccessible forever is if and I don't know, maybe it'll be different once like the Switch 2s are modded and there is like hardware and stuff to rip the files. I don't know how that whole situation works. Like I don't know if maybe you can't rip a game key card, but to like as far as I understand the technology is just a key. So that's something that can be digitized if people really want it to be.
No, you're right. It's we got there a roundabout way, but the actual analogy to the game key card situation is literally 10 years ago when like I would buy a vinyl and it would come with a key code, a download code for that on iTunes, or it would download the MP3s, the album from the website of the artist that I bought the vinyl for. And I'd listen to the vinyl a couple times on like a shitty vinyl player, but like I'm mostly listening to the MP3. And the vinyl, all it is a symbol for me to put on my wall because I'm like, I'm a real fan, So, and that's literally what this is. That's what
I'll push back a little bit and say that isn't what it is because they don't give you both. It's not like you can't play the game.
They used to.
Right. I'm saying with game key cards specifically, they're not giving you a download
spiritually, that's kind of what it is.
Kinda. It's physical DRM. That's what it is. But like the thing is, it's like people are like coming up with this scenario that like in theory you can easily rip a physical game, but you can't easily rip a game key card. And I disagree with the premise because neither of those things is true. Joe Schmo is not going to have the necessary hardware to rip his Nintendo Switch video game or his especially not like Nintendo 64 or Game Boy. Like you're going to have to go to eBay or something to get the hardware to rip your physical games and get access to them. That's just a fact. And I find it hard to believe that Nintendo as a corporation will cease to exist before there's technology elsewhere to rip your game key card. I would bet money. I would bet money that there will be some way to rip your game key card before Nintendo disappears as a corporation.
Yeah.
And that's the main thing for me. It's like we're arguing hypothetical situations here.
Hypothetical.
And I think that is just as realistic to expect there to be other ways to get the game off of the game key card than the opposite is, right?
Yeah.
So to me, it's just like there's no reason to be enraged about this theoretical situation. Yeah. Now, when how you're mad is if you get the game key card and you're denied the download when you buy the game key card.
because
what's
it's like a year old or something, you know?
like that's
You're
worthy of being
all right,
angry.
well, I just bought this. Yeah, that would make
Like
me
somebody
mad, yeah.
did, there was like a similar situation where somebody tried to make this, like they did the Reddit thing where like they wrote a post of like this nightmare scenario happened to me, but they omitted information. But they were like, I bought this code in a box game, and
Yeah.
I tried to put the code in, and it didn't let me redeem it. And turns out the information that they omitted is that the code in the box had a 2-year expiration date or whatever,
Yeah.
and they never opened the box until 2 years later, and then they tried to redeem the code. And when they called to get the code to get a code to redeem, Nintendo gave them the code, like gave them a new code. So like it's fear mongering for the sake of fear mongering. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just like, what if like that happens to you and you buy a physical game that has a code in a box and you forget to redeem the code for 2 years and you call Nintendo and they don't give you a code? Isn't that scary? We should be angry about the theoretical thing that we could be scared of. And I think that's stupid. I think that we can be angry when it happens. Like, why do we have to be angry now? It's not going to, either way, it's not fixing anything. It's like,
yeah.
because
it's also not
is
this like
unrealistic.
impending thing.
Yeah.
You know, I just don't think it's this impending thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's being said, they should port Heart Gold Soul Silver onto the Nintendo Switch too.
I agree. They should. Absolutely.
And that is something that I would buy. That would be a key card because I'm like, I just want the paraphernalia. I just want like something to put on the wall, you know, on the shelf.
I mean, I'd be down.
Yeah.
The next thing I mean, this is a hard left turn, kinda. Pokemon Legends EA ranked season 3. Have you been doing ranked? Have you been doing it? Are you A ranked? Did you get to A rank in season 1 and or 2?
Is it done?
Season 2 is ending on. Hold on, let me look at what the date is.
I've been playing. I would like to get to rank A. I think I'm rank like
Wednesday. This one starts Wednesday, so I assume
I'll do
that season 2
tonight.
ends probably today or tomorrow. Because usually they have like a 12-hour period or something like that where you can't do anything.
I want to get the rewards. Yeah, I want to get the rewards. Like if you finish at rank A, I think you get like, you know, there's
the rewards are whack. I need better rewards, but
they were a little bit better this time.
They were.
My wife's getting home, so the dogs are gonna start barking. Just for listeners, sorry.
No worries.
But I'm definitely gonna do it. Like I said, I think I'm rank F or something, so I'll do a couple more tonight.
I got A both times the day that I was able to. I mean, it was a little different with obviously season 1 because I was still playing the video game, and like I guess I could have just did it right then and there, but for whatever reason I was like, I don't know how the leveling system's going to work. I don't know if they're going to auto take me to level 50 or if I have to be level 50. So I got to rank A like day 2 of me playing Legends EA. And then the day that the next season started, I got to rank A in season 2, and I'm probably going to do the same thing for season 3. But I do wish that there's so many things that I would change about this. And I think that a lot of people on the internet are like conflating it with the battle system where it's like, see, this isn't a good battle system for competitive because this, you know, it's like, no, it's just because how they balanced it is stupid. Like,
you're saying the system, or you're saying
not the system, but how the ranked mode specifically, the rule set of ranked, and you know, like how the fact that it's a free for all, that kind of thing.
Yeah,
I think that is the flaw, not the battle system. It's the fact that it's not designed to be the same kind of ranked mode that VGC is right now. Like they're definitely doing training wheels kind of like sort of situation where it's baby's first competitive game. You pick these three Pokemon and it'll be pretty easy for you to win. But I think that there's definitely better rules that they could do where that's not the case. I say that to say I still be playing it. And I think that it has a similar situation to what I think a lot of people, like the Wolfies of the world, even though I think it's less fake than what happens in VGC, where it's like, I got to Master Ball rank with Talonflame and also every other meta Pokemon in the world, right? I'm genuinely not using a single Pokemon that is anywhere in this like meta discussion. I have never used Garchomp. I have never used Metagross. I don't have a trained Yveltal, you know, like that sort of situation, right? I just got my Gudra. I got my Charizard.
Nice.
I got
I
my.
think I need to get a little bit. I think I need to get a little bit more creative. I finished last week. I haven't played in like a day or so, but I finished last week the decks in
Nice.
ZA. I finished. Yeah,
Did you do the boss
all I
fight?
have
You do
left to
the
do is
boss
the
fight?
battles. I did all the boss fights. I collected all
Mm.
those extra Pokemon. It was super fun. All I gotta do next is yeah, so I have time now to rank up. That's where my focus was, but I do want to rank up because I want to get whatever extra Pokeballs that they'll give out. I know there's not like a ton of great rewards, but I do like those Pokeballs that are like a little bit more rare.
Mhm.
Yeah, so there's some stuff. There's some stuff like that. There's some stuff like that and I think now I will have the time to actually do some ranking up. I want to get more creative though, like with the teams. I have my like guys. I'm so excited for the Mega Dimension, mostly because of the new
Same.
Pokemon that they're probably gonna add. There's some there's leaks or whatever. There's some weirdos in there. And not even I'm not saying megas. I'm saying that just like new like Pokemon that are added to the game. I'm pumped. There's just like a lot of weirdos, so I'm excited for that.
I'm excited to see what's happening with that. I do want to know if there's going to be more. I mean, I don't want to know if it's leaked, but I do want to know if
No, I
there's
know.
like
I'm not gonna tell you.
more
I'm not gonna tell
more
you.
to it than what is being shown. Because I think that I would be,
I have no
I
idea.
wouldn't be mad, but I would be disappointed if this is all we get. Because I do think that a good high potential thing is that it has the like Crown Tundra moment.
Yeah.
Where like there's something in it, which I'll say, and me and Colton are probably next week, I would assume. Just based off of precedent. We're going to talk about our playthrough of this. Crown Tundra, that DLC sucks, but it's cool because of Dynamax Adventures. And Dynamax Adventures made me forget how bad everything else is. Where like it's just like Fetch Quest, the video game. Like that's the whole DLC. Both parts of it is like go on these fetch quests. But Dynamax Adventures makes it worth it because that's just a fun mode that you could do with your friends.
It's funny you say that because this weekend when I was hanging out with my buddies, we literally spent, I don't know, 4 hours playing Dynamax Adventures, and we just kept going through shiny hunting, doing the Max Adventures, strategizing together, and then we each of us had like 6 Pokemon by the end. So we made our teams, and then we did a bunch of battles with those new Pokemon.
Right.
And it was super. It was literally, I'm like, I think this is gonna be a new tradition that we do. It was so much fun.
I have literally more than doubled
Pokemon.
my playtime in Pokemon Sword and Shield just playing Dynamax Adventures.
Dude, I 100% also hope we have some sort of system like that. Obviously, that's something that doesn't exist in a Legends game, but I do hope that we have something like that.
The multiplayer didn't exist in the Legends game.
Yeah.
We got 2 of them.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah,
like,
that's true. No, that's true. That's true.
I think that's another thing that's like very common in like the Pokemon ecosystem is like, well, they don't do that in this. And it's like, well, it feels like that's an accurate thing to say as like backing for why something makes or doesn't make sense, right? But yeah, you're right. I get it. But like Pokemon hasn't been that for at least a decade now. Like the last time that Pokemon was predictable in that way, and even I would even argue before, I was going to say Black and White was the last time that it's been that predictable. But even like since Black and White, it hasn't been predictable because it's like, oh, we're definitely going to get Gray version. They said nope. Black 2 and White 2, you know, it's like, we're definitely going to get Pokemon Z. Nope, nothing. You know, like, I think that they swerve every time Pokemon fans have said, like, well, they haven't done or they usually do, and then they do something different. I think that even more so now during the Switch era, they're like more aggressively like just not doing that kind of thing. When we got Pokemon Let's Go, it was enough for people to be like, well, I can't wait for Let's Go Johto. Who said that was ever going to happen?
Like, it's a good idea. It should have happened. I'm kind of charging my brain right now, and I'm thinking it would be so fun to have an online mode where you do essentially like, or it doesn't need to be online necessarily, but I'm thinking like a co-op.
Yeah, just something that adds more stuff. I don't even need it to literally be, because I make that comparison. I don't literally mean we literally mean like Dynamax Adventures.
No, I know. But like the idea of a co-op raid system in real-time battles.
Yeah.
I mean,
that'd be sick.
obviously, like every DLC adds legendaries, right? But we have that new Pokemon Zeraora that's getting a new Mega Evolution, and in the description of that Pokemon, it does emphasize like
that he's like harder to get.
Yes, and I'm like, well, what is that? Could that be some sort of new legendary raid system where it's like a new Pokemon presents itself, it Mega Evolves, and now you have to take it out with your friends, right? And it could be just in this like ether world, right? This little like rogue mega bubble, right? And your friends spawn in. We already know you can do co-op because like through the campaign you battle with friends, or like the NPC friends,
right?
But I feel like, why does that not already exist that you can battle? Like, why can't you and I hop in and do some rogue battles? That'd be a lot of fun.
That's what I'm saying. I need that. And then they could do the whole thing where it's like fans were outraged about not being able to get the Mega Stones unless you do competitive. Now they could do another distribution that is like, get the shiny Mega Delphox. But you battle it with your friend, and it's like you can in theory do it by yourself, like in the same way that you could in theory do like 7-star Charizard or whatever. But the way you really do it is, and the way that it's designed to do it is with other people. And I think that's like an easy inroad for them to do. And it doesn't even necessarily have to be like a DLC exclusive thing, but I think that's just more likely for them.
Yeah, I'm curious to actually see. Like there's, obviously with DLC, there's a million ways it can go with like, literally my entire channel is about thinking of fun ideas in world. Like as a Pokemon fan, what other cool Pokemon things could happen in whatever's going to come out next, right? Like that's literally the thesis of my channel and the content I make. But yeah, I think I had a lot of cool ideas, and I was a little disappointed to see that like Mega Dimension was like pretty much, at least from what they showed us, is just a gray version of Lumio City.
Yeah.
Obviously there's a whole battle system there that I haven't really like grasped too much, but like I think it's awesome. We can go beyond level 100. That's so sick. It just like kind of sets a cool precedence for future games, or at least DLCs.
Yeah.
The idea that like you can, actually have a challenge beyond your level 100 team. Like there's going to be legendaries and there's new megas. It'll be fun. I guess I'm just hoping like there's going to be, proper challenges. I'm hoping that there's going to be like, I want to see some more characters. I want to see some more stories. I don't want it to just be like a random dimension that is like inconsequential. That's a little bit removed from the game to me. That's more like as a fan, but I want to see more from these trailers to really get a gauge on like what this DLC is going to offer. Yeah.
I really hope it's just not like, because I don't know, Pokemon to me has always felt like it's a tutorial for playing Pokemon. Like even since Gen 1, it's like they want you to play with your friends, and the game is teaching you how to play the game, right? I think the DLC is more that. It's like, yo, we got this new mechanic called Gigantamax, and the whole tutorial is teaching you about how to make new Pokemon Gigantamax, right? And introducing you to this new Pokemon, Kubfu, and there's different Kubfu, and like if the DLC is all about like, this is how Mega Evolution works, and that's kind of it. That'd be whack. And even if it is a thing of like, we got this new level 200, you can get to 200. If that's the whole DLC of like teaching us about level 200, that'd be kind of whack. Like I want something different than that.
Part of the game, part of the game is still like exploring Lumio City. Yes, there's a lot of things you can't do with the exploration, and I've cooled off a little bit. I was in like for a year. I was like in I had my back against the wall. I was like in just defense mode, trying to like fend off all the unwarranted criticism so we can focus on like what the game is offering.
Right.
But now that I've cooled off after like a month or so, like, there are a lot of, I'm rambling, but there are a lot of things that like ZA doesn't do, but there is some traversal, and there is like some exploration, and there are some fun things.
So for me,
the map that I want to see more of.
It's so much easier for me to be able to do both, because I think what a lot of people do when they attack Pokemon, this game in particular, is like they're comparing it to the other Pokemon games. So it's like, well, I really like this thing very specific about other Pokemon games, and this game doesn't have that, so therefore worse game. But for me, it's like I don't really care about seeing the pixels be different or arranged differently in different combinations of red, green, and blue. I don't care about that. Like, yeah, we can have the volcano area, we can have the snow area. It doesn't really make a difference to me. It's kind of like, it feels like Breath of the Wild, the complaint that a lot of people had about that, where it's like, I miss temples.
No temples
because shrines are I don't care about that, because at the end of the day, it's just set dressing. It's just shaders that they put over that are different. What I care about is the gameplay of it all. Like, how does that change the gameplay? And I know that shrines made the gameplay more interesting than temples ever did, because temples are very like confined to the, like, you got a boomerang and here's how you use your boomerang, you know. Like
it's true.
And I think that, like, so
and once
far,
you figure it out once, it's like, then you're just doing it by muscle memory.
Exactly.
You know, the replay of a Zelda game used to just kind of be like, you're doing it out of comfort. Exactly.
And I think with ZA specifically, there was exploration, but the exploration was in the mechanics. It was in, I'm actually figuring out my Pokemon and seeing, like, this is their movement speed and their hitbox is this, and this is what this attack looks like and how fast it goes and how long it lasts, and, you know, like that kind of thing. That's the exploration. Instead of like this is grass area forest number 3. Yay. You know, this isn't Viridian Forest.
It seems like there is going to be some customization with the Hoopa portals. Like, every single time you go into like Hyperspace Lumios, it'll be like a different configuration or like a different version or whatever of like where you're going, because you can, like, that's how you like determine which new Pokemon are going to like spawn in that area, which seems kind of fun. You know, it'll keep certain Pokemon rare. It'll be like exciting to be like, oh, I did it. These are wild now. I can go, I got them. I can maybe shiny hunt or whatever. But I truly, I'm feeling currently underwhelmed. I was excited. Currently feeling underwhelmed. They showed that new Pokemon Mega Zeraora, and while I do think that Pokemon is appealing to a very specific type of person, I feel like it is cool. It's a cool design. It's like objectively cool. I do feel like, and maybe it could just be my algorithm, but I feel like the internet I feel like this week was just kind of like, just like a big shrug.
I mean, was just kind of like, to be honest, I felt like that. Cool. I think that announcing singular Pokemon is stupid. I think being like, yo, we got this new one Pokemon. That's kind of whack.
Like, it's like they're saying it's like powerful, and how are you going to capture it? Show me how to capture it.
Yeah.
Like, why would it be that?
I think
just showing this as is, no new type. It's like, what's the discourse?
They just kind of like position Pokemon reveals like their Smash reveals, and I think they're fundamentally different. Because it's like, when you get a new Smash Brothers character or a fighting game character in any fighting game, it's like this is like 25% of what the game is. You know, it's like this character
new Mega is 1 in 5,000 things.
But I don't even necessarily mean it in that way. It's not like a quantity thing. It's a like, when
it's like easy to ignore.
When you add a new character to Smash Brothers, or again any fighting game, this determines how you play the game physically. Like, when I'm fighting Steve, it's entirely different from when I'm fighting Game & Watch or when I'm fighting Donkey Kong or whoever, right?
And that's you're not going to avoid that. Like, that's going to show up, so you better either learn how to use it or fight against it.
That's not the case with a Zeraora, right? Like, it's going to, like, he has higher numbers than a lot of the Pokemon in the game, and that's the extent of it. He's going to have a little bit of different moves than the other Pokemon in the game, and that's the extent of it, right? That's, like, cool as a fan of Pokemon. That's like, I like what he looks like, and he's going to be on my team, and blah, blah, blah. But that's not enough to carry an announcement like announcing 5 new Pokemon, 10 more Pokemon, because then everybody gets that, like, oh, it'll change up my team a little bit, if at least, because not everybody that sees Zeraora in the trailer is going to add Zeraora to their team. I'm not.
And that's
Are
how
you?
I'm feeling.
Yeah,
No,
like,
I'm not.
So,
No,
so
it's an interesting way you say it, because it is true. I do think like the announcement of a new Pokemon is a big deal, because it's like forever a creature in existence in the lore, in the canon, in the world of Pokemon, right? Like this is forever. You know what I'm saying? Like
Right.
any fantasy series that you enjoy, when you add something new to it, you're like, oh, this could recontextualize everything, right? It's like this is a new real life discovery in this fantasy
like lore
world.
wise.
Yeah,
But this is
so
a
like,
game.
That's exciting. You're right, but then as a game, it's like, okay.
Yeah,
What do you want
exactly.
me to say?
Like there's
I don't
definitely
know.
like the people that are deep diving into the lore, like if that's their whole bread and butter.
There's
you know,
not a lot of people doing that with Zeraora.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. No one's doing it. My friend Toby literally made a video where
I
he
just
like,
saw
it was like 50 seconds.
Lockston's video. I didn't even watch it yet.
Yeah,
but I saw his video.
I didn't watch that either. I saw that. I do need to watch that, because I'm like, okay, the only person who has an explainer on Zeraora, because he's consistent and he's always digging, and I love it.
Mm-hmm.
But my friend Toby made a video where he was like, it was a fake out. It was 50 seconds, and he was like, he did his normal intro as if it's going to be this big video. And then he goes, and we got the announcement of Mega Zeraora. I've got nothing. And then the video ended. He was plugging his new merch store.
That's funny.
But I'm like, no one knows any, like, this is not something that we wanted.
Yeah. I mean,
And I'm just saying, it's not, I'm not
that's
complaining.
The,
I'm
that's
just
the
saying,
risk.
like,
That's the risk you run
just
when it's one
yeah.
Pokemon. That's why I think that announcing one
Do something
Pokemon
else.
is stupid. I think that
Yes.
what they should have did is assuming that it's there. I don't know, because again, we don't have it yet. But the cooler,
Yeah.
I mean, the safer bet is like, here's a new Pokemon, and then here's a mechanic to go along with it, right? Like
Yes.
with the
highlight its new move, it's a new ability, because then we can be like, whoa, is that something that could fit with?
well, we
like,
know it doesn't have
another
new
Pokemon
abilities, but
I know that's
I was
true. I'm just
I was
saying,
more
like,
so saying like something
yeah.
kind of unrelated to the Pokemon. Like
Okay,
when they announce say
Zeraora Donuts.
the first trailer that we got that revealed level 200 or whatever, right? And then the next trailer is like, here's Zeraora. There's these donuts. They change your stats in some kind of way. Right.
Yes. Okay.
And then the next
yes.
trailer, it's like, oh, this is Ansha. They're her donuts, and like this world is like there's like other Pokemon here too. Like that's how you drip feed that. But how they did it now is like, here's all that other like actual like depth to what the DLC is, and here's this one Pokemon later that you may or may not care about, and a standalone announcement that we announced in the same kind of way, where it's like, yo, wake up at 9 a.m. for this. You know, it's like
Literally, dude. I reacted to this on my podcast. And I was so excited. I'm like, okay, what are they going to show us? They spoiled it in the thumbnail. I saw it on the YouTube channel. I click it. I'm like, I already know what it is.
I feel.
I click it, and then it was like, what, a minute and a half of a trailer of just Zeraora doing some random stuff. I was like, all right, there's nothing here to analyze. There's nothing to look into. I could be sleeping, but I have a Pokemon YouTube channel.
That is true.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm looking forward to ranked. I think ZA for me, and
Ranked
also
could
the
be cool.
DLC. ZA for me and where I'm at is kind of similar to how I feel about Donkey Kong, where people were mad about the Donkey Kong DLC. But for me, I was hyped because I was like, this gives me more
I like
reasons to
this.
play Donkey Kong, and that's what the DLC is like. Literally about like, here's like, in theory, limitless reasons to play Donkey Kong. And I think that if that is what this is, it gives me limitless reasons to play Pokemon Legends EA. I'm down, because that's what I wanted. I wanted to play.
No,
this.
I love that.
So that's where I'm at.
It's like if you DLC is great if you like a game.
Yes.
If you don't like a game, you're not gonna like DLC. But guess what? You don't need to buy DLC.
Exactly.
Everyone wants to get mad about. I think what I'm just sick of this year in 2025. I mean, listen, there's a lot of things I'm sick of, but I'm especially sick of people getting angry on my behalf. You know?
Yes. Yeah.
And
I hate it a
listen,
lot.
I'll take accountability. I'm not on my podcast, but maybe I should do this on my own podcast. But like, I'll take accountability. I'm often telling people, no, you don't really believe that. And I'm kind of challenging them, and I'm playing the heel or whatever. But like, it's true. I'm like, if you're outraged by something, don't buy it.
Yeah.
I guess
So
that's
that's what it is for me, because I do that, and I still feel very comfortable and confident in doing that, because I see the hoops that people jump through when they do these things. When they say,
but
like,
don't tell me I don't like ZA. I like ZA.
Yeah, right.
Oh, dude,
But
that's what's driving me insane.
And it's a whole other thing where people are like, you shouldn't like this because this, and that. And another thing when people are like, well, you feel like this because you saw somebody else say it, and you could trace that. Like, that's provable.
Imagine yelling at someone because they enjoy a specific food.
How dare you
Like,
like the thing that I don't like?
How dare you like Chinese American spare ribs and crab rangoon and vegetable fried rice at your local place?
Well,
when
people
you're feeling,
do that, but
that's all I do. That's my favorite thing. That's my last meal. It's so good. Literally my last meal.
I couldn't even name what my last meal is. It depends on the day.
I'm just saying, but like,
Depends on the day,
I don't get this obsession with like, no, listen to me. I actually know better than you, and actually, you're being
because
robbed.
they want you to
Pokemon
agree
and
with
Game
them.
Freak.
It's because they want you to agree with them. Because to them, if you agree with them, that validates how they feel about the thing, and it like solidifies the potential that the thing that they like and want to like will remain. You know, it's the war that I've been fighting about Pokemon for years. Of like, people don't like this as much as y'all think they do. And then
dude, AJ, oh my god, I was doing a call-in show on my podcast, and like one of our viewers like called in, and he was basically just beating around the bush, but he was essentially saying, and I buttoned it up. I said, hey, I think what you're not saying, but what you're trying to say is Pokemon battles haven't been fun in a decade. And for the first time, you're actually having fun battling in Pokemon.
Yes.
And he was like, yeah. And I was like, that's insane.
Yeah.
Because like I also had that was my come to Jesus.
That's what it is. Because again,
I was like,
for me,
that's the confirmation.
For me, this is why it's like I feel confident and whenever I say things like that. Because I usually, even when I say stuff like this, I make it a point to qualify it in various ways. Like I talked to you about the Kirby Air Riders video that I made, where I made a video basically talking about the idea of comparing these two things, and it's a fruitless comparison because like the reason why you play one is not the reason why you would play the other, and the only reason why the comparison even exists is because either you don't understand the games and you see them riding around on carts and that must mean they're the same, or B, you're buying into the online narrative that just is mad that Mario Kart costs $80 and Kirby doesn't. Like that, you know, and it's seasoned by people's love of Masahiro Sakurai and obsession with auteur worship and blah, blah, blah. Like, it's this kind of thing, right? It's like people feel like they feel attached to the way things are because of nostalgia and all this other kind of nonsense.
Yeah.
And they feel like they got to go to bat for that because, like, if people do agree with what you're saying, that threatens the thing that they like, and they don't know if they'll have the same kind of feelings for the new thing. You know, it's that kind of thing. People don't know what they don't know.
You got to separate your self-worth and your identity from your ideas. That's what you got to do. As soon as I did that, I said, oh,
yes,
I can say whatever I want.
Yeah, that's how I
like, if
feel.
you hate my idea, it doesn't matter.
I don't care. This is a video game. I don't care at the end of the day, right?
My dogs will always love me.
So the last thing that I wanted to talk about, again, another hard left turn. There's Nintendo Switch 2 upgrades. You're familiar with this? With the Mario Odyssey upgrade and all that other kind of stuff?
Oh, yeah.
We now know who made at least some of them. And this has interesting implications.
What do you mean?
Because
whoa, what do you mean? What do you mean?
So these upgrades, like for like ARMS and Mario Bros. U Deluxe and Mario Odyssey and Bowser's Fury, that wasn't done by the original development teams of those video games. They were done by Panic Button.
Interesting.
Which Panic Button is a third party, like essentially they do ports, like that. That's what they do. And they're well known for doing Nintendo ports, and like specifically in the Nintendo Switch era, they're like a studio that makes like quote unquote impossible ports. Like they did like the Doom port, and I think they did like the Rocket League port, and they did various ports. So something that like this let off a light bulb for me, where it's like, well, why would Nintendo commission somebody to do this? Because like to me it's like I don't think that would take that much additional work, and it's interesting the games that they picked to do that with, like the Mario stuff, like them commissioning them to do Mario U Deluxe and Odyssey and 3D World, whatever, right? But them doing a Switch 2 upgrade for ARMS, why? You know, like to me, like
so I'm looking at this is Panic Button Game on Twitter. They have 4 images. Do we know if there's even more? Is there like a list?
I think that these are just the ones. Like that's them. That was them confirming these are the ones that we worked on.
So there's probably
there are other ones
working on other games.
Yeah, there are other companies that did it, but we just know that this is the one that they did, or these are the ones that they did. And I don't know. Maybe like I think that a lot of them probably are internal. Like Game Freak probably was the one to do the upgrade for Pokemon,
Yeah.
right?
Could it be? I mean, would it just be that like the team is working on new stuff, so it's like you don't want to take them away from something for like even a month? I don't know how long it would even take to do some of this
Yeah,
stuff.
I think that's
Could it be
exactly
like
what
a
it is.
secrecy thing?
I
Could it
think
be
I think it's
okay?
exactly what it is, where it's like, well, we don't necessarily have the bandwidth to make this thing, but we do want to upgrade it. The thing that's interesting to me about it though is the fact that they picked these ones. Like, why arms?
Yeah.
Why did they say, yo, panic button, upgrade arms, please? And I think that like it's probably because they see more in arms than
Right.
what we think they do. Like I
Yeah.
think that there probably is like franchise potential there. I think the fact that they
Yeah.
like asked Sakurai to put Min Min or a Arms character, I'm pretty sure they said, and he like the director of Arms picked Min Min. That probably means that they're going to do a sequel, or they're still thinking about the franchise in one way or another, because I don't know why else you would pick that. Like the Mario games make sense because they're doing Mario movies, and every time they talk about like, oh, we have Mario games that you could play, and then they do a whole carousel of like all the Mario games that they want you to spend money on the eShop.
Yeah.
But they don't have that same, incentive with Arms. There's no real
But they've
big reason.
But it's like a first party game, though, right? I mean,
yeah, but they didn't do it with every first party game, and that's why it's weird. Like Luigi's Mansion didn't get this treatment, and Luigi's Mansion sold more than Arms, significantly more, like 4 times more.
Oh, that is weird, actually. Okay, I guess I just assumed all those first party games got.
Yeah, nah, they didn't. That's why I'm like, that's weird. That's weird. Why'd you pick these ones? And I had that thought. I had that thought when they did it, when we got these free updates. But I even more so am like raising an eyebrow, like, why? If they commissioned an outside party to do it, because that's an additional amount of like work and investment, where it's like, I'm going to give this other studio that has nothing to do with these games money to upgrade this game, when they could have just, upgraded the ones that they saw that kind of potential in, or even the games that they see a lot of activity with. Or games that they see like potential to like demo Switch 2 features, but not that they couldn't like work into a new game yet, right? Like if Arms had like mouse mode, I can be like, okay, well, if it was like the only game that they could work that into it, I was like, okay, yeah, that makes sense. But it's not. It's just higher resolution.
There's no rhyme or reason.
Yeah, like
it probably could have been. I have no idea, but it probably could. It could be maybe like. There are certain games that could benefit, but like it's like some sort of like they have to find like where on the graph it is the most affordable or convenient, right? It's like, okay, this is feasible, we could do it, it's a low lift, and then compare that ratio or figure out that in relativity to like how much
money it will cost.
You could actually improve the game.
Right.
Yeah. There's probably some sort of like a number that they're figuring out. And I don't know Arms, but it seems like a pretty simple game. And maybe, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like,
I think I like Arms. I like Arms a lot. I think that Arms is on that like Smash Brothers, Mario Kart type beat, where like if you look at it, it's like, this is a pretty simple game, it's a pretty approachable game, but it does have depth to it, where like if you look deep into it, it's like, oh no, like this is like how people talk about Pokemon. Like that's what a lot of these games are, is like it's way deeper than you think it is, but you never have to know, because you could just pick up a controller and flick the stick and win against your friends or whatever. It is weird.
Because when to me, Arms was, that was like a launch game on Switch. Everyone had Rocket League and Arms, and then they were waiting for Mario. So, and this isn't like, I'm not an executive because I have no idea what I'm talking about, but I'm just like, to me, this seems like, okay, if you're launching a new system, maybe you want to have this on shelves, or have this like be something you can also promote or something. I don't know. It is really weird.
I think if I'm an executive at Nintendo, I just look at the top 20 best-selling video games, and I just pick those. And I don't know if Arms is in the top 20 best-selling video games. It's not like, it sold decent. It sold like 2.5 million copies or something like that, which is pretty good for a fighting game, especially a new IP.
Games and like thinking about, because the new IP, could they be looking at certain games thinking like, are any of these something that we could position to try to give it a new life on Switch 2?
That's
Maybe
what I'm thinking. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
I'm thinking
maybe
that
it didn't pop off originally, but like we got the it's like it's like a deluxe. It's a deluxe album, you know?
Yeah. So
damn.
I don't know. We'll see. 50-50 on that. But that's it.
This is weird, man. Yeah.
Wait, you still got something to say? What's weird?
I guess I just hope, you know, like you mentioned ports, and I'm like, you know,
you're back to Pokemon. You're like,
I'd love to find out who did the versions of you know, who did the Switch 2 versions of all the Pokemon games.
I would assume it's Game Freak. I think it's Game Freak.
Because maybe they're cooking on. Maybe they're cooking on. It could be Pokemon Works.
I was about to say maybe it is Pokemon Works. That would be
Namco. Who knows, dude? I have no idea.
If that's what Bandai Namco did, I swear to God.
Yeah, that's what they've been working on this whole time.
Make a good video game, I swear, please, please.
Oh my God. AJ, thank you for having me, man.
Thanks for being here. I mean, I'm sure you'll be back when there's more substantial Pokemon news in the future after the DLC. We gotta do it again after the DLC at some point.
100%, man.
Everybody go follow Dusty and all the things. It'll be in the description and whatnot.
I started uploading because I don't have enough things to plug. I made a new channel. It's called Dusty Topic, and I just got that channel monetized. It's actually crushing right now. I just log on every day, fire off a thought. It's like 10 to 20 minutes. It's like a podcast.
Nice.
And it's been doing pretty well. I'm having a ton of fun with it. So that's what I want to plug today. Dusty Topic.
Sick. Everybody go subscribe to Dusty Topic.
I'm proud, dude. I'm proud.
I mean, we can do, well, we'll talk about it after. Talking about it after. All right, like, comment, subscribe to this channel, do all the podcast stuff, rate the podcast, so on and so forth. Goodbye.
Rate the podcast. Thank you, AJ.